Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here. Welcome to my Star Wars Battlefront 2 full game collectibles guide where I show you all 23 of the available collectibles in the campaign. There is no achievement or trophy directly related to these, however you will earn crafting parts after redeeming the campaign milestones that are unlocked by collecting these. In the top left corner of the video you can see the mission that we're currently on as well as a running counter of all collectibles. From the very beginning of the game, once you use the droid to shock the enemy, you can find a collectible directly to your right. A little bit later on in the mission, you'll come outside to this area. You can scan for enemies and use your shock to disable any, but what we'll want to do is navigate to the middle and go underneath the walkways in order to find our second collectible. Now, what you'll notice is that there is a little bit of a trend, and that is that collectibles must be attained by the droid. So you'll either be in droid form or you'll have to send out the droid in order to get the collectible, meaning that they're only going to be available on certain missions in the campaign. Later on in the mission, you'll get a gun and shortly after kill a few enemies, and then as you exit into the open area directly in front of you, hook around to your left and follow the hallway to the next one.
Slicer.
Now we're on mission 1, the Battle of Endor. Near the very beginning, after taking out the first enemy camp, go down to the downed walker, and underneath you should be able to find a collectible. A little bit later on, you'll be following a path through a forest, and if you look down and to your right, you might find a small group of enemies, which you'll also be notified about through a voiceover. Take them out, and then get access into the bunker using the droid. Once inside, spot the collectible and take it. Shortly after the previous one, you'll have yet another enemy encounter where you'll want to take out all of the enemies in the area before being told to proceed. Before progressing, make sure you follow around to the left. There's a little bit of a hidden path near one of the downed planes, or ships rather, and if you go down to the bunker, you can use your droid to get access. Inside, there's yet another collectible there. Next up, on your way to secure platform number 4, before or after taking out all of the enemies, what you'll want to do is circle around to the very back of the area before going up the tower. There's a small staircase that will lead to the upper ring, and underneath that staircase, around back, you'll be able to find your collectible. I'm going to be doing this before taking on any of the enemies, so there will be enemies in the area. As the mission is ending, you'll then be tasked with securing the TIE fighters, and at the very last one, before boarding and completing the mission, make sure you grab the collectible near the downed fighter at the very end of the platform.
Need a slice.
We're now moving on to mission 2, the Dauntless, and once we get off of our plane for the first time, you'll probably want to take out some of the enemies, but before progressing through, make sure you spot the collectible on the wall, kind of directly behind you if you were going to continue through that door.
Need a slice.
You'll then reach a large open area where you have to take out a whole bunch of enemies and slice the console. Before slicing the console, what you want to do is drop down and go underneath the walkways, and you should be able to easily spot a collectible in some of these hallways here.
Slice that.
Now we're on mission 4, the Storm. Before going inside of the tower, make sure we go to the right hand side into the fenced area to find the collectible. You'll then come to this open area with a large satellite where you'll probably have to take out a bunch of enemies. After doing so, go down the street and to the left in order to find a collectible.
Slice that.
From the location of the previous collectible, continue towards your objective, but instead of slicing through the door in order to continue the level, you'll want to look off of the balcony to the right in order to see a collectible off in the distance near the lava.
Escaping ships. We're not the only ones searching for safety.
Slice it.
As you progress through the mission, you'll need to work your way up some of these steps, and at the very end there is a large walker you'll need to hijack. There will also have been a sniper that was shooting at you, and on the platform that he was standing on is a collectible. So as you're working towards your objective, take a left-handed detour up some stairs onto the highest balcony, and on that balcony you'll find a collectible. Now the next thing you'll need to grab isn't until Mission 8, Under Covered Skies. Once you land your plane, walk forward to the very end of the platform and stick to the left-hand side to easily spot this one.
We need to find a turbo lift to get there. The droid said there's one ahead, along with the storm.
Now the next 3 collectibles are in the large open area before reaching the final platform, and you can grab these in any order, and there's actually multiple doors you can exit from to get access to this area. I'm going to be exiting from the door closest to the objective, and I've taken out all of the enemies ahead of time. Now for this first collectible, I'm going to be running directly across to the far end of the platform where I'll find a collectible next to some of these TIE fighters.
Droid, slice that.
Now additionally, there's another collectible inside of the small building in the middle of this area. Go indoors and you'll find it in one of the corners.
Droid, slice that.
Next up, there's also going to be a collectible that's to the front left based on where we exited, and this one's going to be basically on the opposite side from where the objective is. You should be able to spot it quite easily after taking a few steps around here though. Now the next collectible can be found in Mission 10 after getting off your plane for the first time. Go to the left hand side and into this kind of shipping container where you can find your collectible.
Triv and I will get them. Stay here and lay down cover fire.
Then, after landing your plane for the second time, there was actually an achievement or trophy you could have gotten for shooting down a certain amount of TIE fighters. But once you get off your plane, you might want to take out some of the enemies directly in front of you, but go forward into the battlefield and stick to the right-hand side. You'll see a large tube that you'll need to go through, and at the end of that tube is your collectible. After you've taken a little bit of a stand and defended yourself and have the remote detonators, you'll need to go inside of the hangar to plant the explosives. Before planting the explosives and leaving the hangar, make sure you go all the way to the very back end of it, look up, and you'll be able to send your droid out for number 21 of 23.
All the way through the ion engine systems.
And shatter the ship from the inside out.
Exactly.
Last but not least, we are on Mission 11, Until Ashes. This is the second last mission in the game, and what you'll need to do is, once you gain access to your character on top of the ship, you'll have to run kind of directly forward and across to the right-hand side. You'll notice a large engine that seems to be on fire off in the distance, as well as a small kind of trench off to the right-hand side as well. If you follow that trench all the way to where it meets that engine part, you should be able to find collectible number 22.
Slice, please.
The final collectible in the game can also be found in Mission 11 Until Ashes. You'll need to walk forward and then use these collapsed pipes in order to gain access to the bridge. This one will be very obviously directly in front of you, and you've now grabbed all 23. Don't forget to go to the campaign milestones page in the main menu to claim all of your crafting parts in order to use those online as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the video was helpful. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Special thanks to the amazing people on Patreon for supporting the show, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.